I had everything: a house in Westchester, a husband, 2 kids in grade schools. So why was I running? Because the life that looked great on paper was starting to seriously unravel.
Could I outrun my failing marriage and a global pandemic?
Allow me to set the stage of where we were at before the oncoming and seemingly inevitable crash of our marriage. We were chasing education. With $20,000 in annual debt and 2 small children, we sought out the American dream. Sure, we had lofty ambitions, but we were prepared to make sacrifices. My husband and I had a lot of energy. We loved a good mission, and we had a high risk tolerance. I thought that if we had more space, we would be able to connect more. Some people have babies to fix their marriages, but I had gut renovations. We lived in the house while we renovated. I don't recommend this. Things started to really come together, and we were proud of the results. But the project was also coming to a close, and the daily grind returned. The days rolled by, and I was cooking simple meals for 3 every night. My kids and I got much closer, and we're still close to this day. But as the days rolled on and the weeks passed, the stir the oatmeal energy was required, and I felt more and more disconnected from my husband. Everyone was settling into the house and school. Maybe it was the stress of having 2 kids, all the financial responsibility, the upkeep of the house, the everyday trials and tribulations, shopping, cooking, putting them to bed. I was starting to lose steam. Something was missing, and I felt invisible. We were arguing more, and the things that we used to like to do together, entertain, socialize, they drifted. I realized it just wasn't working, and I didn't know exactly how to separate, but I thought we should start talking about it. And so I looked into something called conscious uncoupling, and I had this hope that we would start doing the program and realize that we were really good together, and that it would put into perspective that our problems were fixable. This really just didn't happen. My husband was spending more time commuting, and I saw him less and less. And we were just both extremely busy and extremely stressed trying to keep up with having a small family, having young children. And then the pandemic hit. We really had no idea how to handle it in the beginning. We were getting all these vaccines, and every day, instead of looking at the weather, we would look at the death toll. We're like washing eggs and doing car pickups, and they couldn't handle all of the people that were dying, and they were, stacking up bodies in refrigerators outside hospitals. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. One of the very first things we did was pull my mom out of the city and bring her up to where we lived. And it quickly became clear that people wanted to get outside and get fresh air, and in that way, we were in a good place. We had already been about $20,000 per year short of what we were spending, and I knew that we were going to have to take some action. I didn't know what that action would be. We really didn't know. And it seemed like the people in charge didn't know either. So I went from having alone time to explore my career, and at the time I was transitioning from real estate to UX design. And I went from having this time to myself to having 5 people in the house at one time. And I was cooking for 5 people 3 times a day. It felt like a small army. Shopping became an enormous task. It was completely nothing that we had experienced ever before in our lifetime. But a lot of people in our town, they had pretty steady jobs, and even if they got laid off, they were going to get unemployment, or there was some built-in relief. They kind of rode the wave. So most people just hunkered down, stayed home, watched movies, took walks. There was a big effort in our town, which was so sweet and charming, to make masks, and people responded in different ways to the pandemic. And I knew that we needed to come up with a unique solution for our family, because what everyone else was doing wasn't going to work for us. We had a financial gap that was going to put us under, and I knew that we had to do something different, as much as I love movies. There was no way I was going to be able to make any decisions while I was in a state of panic. On the one hand, that we had to take action, and on the other, I had to get into a relaxed state of mind to really be sure of what the next step was that would be good for our family.
The trees, they are singing to the tune of a song, and the wind is gently ringing the bell that brings the morning, the welcome of the dawn.
Something else occurred. It was a peacefulness that came over us, a kind of surrender. It changed the way we held each other for a little while. It was like I was able to see a layer in between the words. It was like a felt sense that we were all in this together. I remember we had this one conversation, me and my mom and my husband. We were in the kitchen talking about how to really use this time. What would be possible to make this time an exceptional experience? I've been mostly narrating this story in a downtown apartment in New York City, and while I'm here, I wanted to share with you this really special historic place to describe to you the moment when things started to really shift towards our California dream. I'm just gonna give you a very brief tour of Cornwall Coffee. This place is so spectacular. So we were all standing by the piano and singing. We were trying to sing this song together, and Jude was so patiently trying to teach me how to be not pitch perfect, but closer. And we were having such a great time, and we were just together in that one moment. And I thought to myself, you know what? We can put our differences and our disagreements aside. I had been open to the answer for weeks, but my mind needed joy to see my way through. And I had this epiphany that if life, aka the universe, was still going on, and that humans were just down on Earth doing whatever it is that they do, I realized how irrelevant I was in the bigger picture. And in the very next moment, what mattered most to me became crystal clear. And that was each other and creating, telling stories through art. And if we had those two things, I knew we were going to be okay. I was like so hopeful. And just like that, the lens was focused. And then we started really thinking about what was possible. And we had discussed going to an island because we sort of felt like we were on an island. And we were like, well, why not just go and like experience like the sand and the sea? And
whoa, look at this.
what?
This school I found in California.
No, I think this is like a really nice after school program.
No, it's a high school. They have all the different like academics and
Oh wow, acting. Okay. We rented an apartment sight unseen in California, and we packed our car. A critical piece was that we rented our house. Really helped us get across the country and get set up in California. Also, it's like 100% easier to rent an apartment in California.
Because Zoe woke up at 5 in the morning, and we're also really hungry. And I woke up at 6 in the morning.
Oh, do you want a job while you're waiting? It involves a hose. Okay, come on over.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
So are you done? Have you worked really hard? Yeah.
The trees, they are singing to the tune of a song.
We went to the pool every day during our allotted time, and we were genuinely happy to explore and start a new chapter. So we were flowing with the circumstances downstream and turning lemons into lemonade, as they say, and I had hope for the future. Handling something big together again brought us closer, and we had more time in California. Could this be the answer that our marriage needed to survive? I did have one lingering thought, and that was an unresolved problem that I didn't really know how to handle, and that was my mom. I knew her health was declining. I knew she was sad that we left to California, even though I invited her many times to come and live with us. Like, she wanted to do that. And it was just a ticking time bomb on when she was going to need help and how.
Love of mine, someday you will die, but I'll be close behind. I'll follow you into the dark.